Are we live? Are we live? We are. We are live. Hello, everyone. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. So, I'm going to try something different this time, y'all. I'm going to go live on Instagram as well. We'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes. I'm going to go live on Instagram as well. So, y'all give me a moment. I got this in Asheville. Pretty cool cup. So give me a moment. I'm going to go live on Instagram as well. So give me a second, y'all. We'll get started reading at 6:05. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. I am live on Instagram. And can I title it? Never been live on Instagram before. Oh, well. Here we are. It is what it is. There we go. There we go. I'm live on Facebook and Instagram now. I'm live on Facebook and Instagram now. Hey, 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 hey. Hello, hello, hello. It is Monday, the 7th of December of this very, 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 very long year of 2020. Y'all, I feel like my eyes look naked. But it's too late to do anything about it now. So we're here. Hello, hello. If you are joining us for the very first time, and anybody on Instagram, this is going to be the first time anyway. Last week, I started reading books. I started reading Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. And I started reading Abundance Now by Lisa Nichols. This is going to be interesting going the back and forth. This is going to be interesting. Hey, friend. Hey, friend. Okay. Oh, y'all, I think I'm dehydrated. Let me get some more water. And also show off my outfit. Give me a second. Okay. Welcome in, anybody that is watching. Anybody that's watching, welcome in. Happy Monday. I hope y'all had a great weekend. This weekend. I had a pretty fun weekend. Went to Asheville with my friends, or my friend. Went to Asheville with my friend, and it was so much fun. And we didn't really get to do much, but it's been kind of, it was busy. It was a lot of people, but they were all wearing masks, which was nice. It was way busier downtown than I anticipated it being, but everybody was wearing a mask, and it was pretty fun. If you guys are joining us for the first time, this is Reading with MissTaylorSaid, and I am currently reading Abundance Now by Lisa Nichols. We're reading Abundance Now by Lisa Nichols. We haven't gotten that far because I always stop and talk about what we're reading, and we end up in conversation and everything. So it's a very active and fun experience for those of you that are joining us for the first time. And so we're reading Abundance Now by Lisa Nichols. And what I'm doing is I have a couple of goals that I am trying to reach, and I have some things that I'm trying to accomplish. Hey, y'all. Oh, my gosh. Hey, y'all. Hey, Instagram. Oh, this is fun. I'm excited. I have a couple of goals I want to accomplish. One of them being reading more. Another one being getting more comfortable with speaking in front of an audience, even if it's virtual. Getting more comfortable with speaking in front of an audience. And another thing I wanted to get more comfortable with is reading aloud, because with the things that I want to do with my life, hopefully they involve me reading off of a teleprompter. And so I'm going to have to get more comfortable with reading aloud, and just, engaging more on a personal level so that you guys have an opportunity to see me. Besides, all of my posts and the things I say are true to me. However, they don't really highlight my personality. So, want y'all to get to know Miss Taylor Said, and I feel like a great way to get to know the people is through sharing an activity together, and reading a book feeds our minds, feeds our self-care, and gives us a chance to have conversation with each other. Even if you're in the comments and everything, gives us the opportunity to have conversation with each other and grow together. So let's do it. Hey, all right. So we're going to get back into chapter 1 of Abundance Now with Lisa Nichols. What we left off on were, let's see, let me go back in here. So what we were talking about the last time, which was last Wednesday, I didn't do a Thursday show because my energy wasn't right, and it's early enough for me to, say, okay, I can't do it today because of energy, before there's way more people watching and being like, why aren't you doing it? Because I'm speaking that into existence. We're going to have a big group of people that read with Miss Taylor Said. So speaking that into existence. Anyway, we were talking about the 12 life-changing areas where you can achieve astounding success. And we were going through each section. So we were talking about your love relationship, your family relationships, your peers, colleagues, and social circles, your mentors and advisors. I always miss it. Your career or business. And the last one we left off on was your career or business. And we were talking about the different ways to speak life in abundance into those areas of your life, and the kind of questions you should ask if you're trying to improve those areas in your life. So we were talking about that, and it was a really great conversation. If you missed it, go to facebook.com, and I'm saying this for the Instagram folks. Go to facebook.com/MissTaylorSaid, and if you scroll down, it'll be a public post. We did some readings last week. There were 3 live videos where we did a reading, where we were reading. I wasn't doing a reading, but we were reading together. Take a look. It's in a book. We were reading together. So if you want to catch up, go watch those episodes. We'll call them episodes. Yeah. Go watch those episodes. They're only an hour long. I keep it right there at an hour. So it's just a nice hour reading. And unlike an audio book, I add my extra commentary, which, as you can tell, I'm adding a lot of commentary because normally I would have started reading by now. But it's not just me reading the book. It is also additional commentary and conversation. So let's dive right back in. The next section is called Your Income or Business Revenue. And keep your journals handy if you want to take notes and get into it. All right. And for those of you that are just joining, we are reading Abundance Now by Lisa Nichols. Abundance Now by Lisa Nichols. In the same way you should be crystal clear about your job or business, you should also determine how big you'd like your weekly paycheck or business revenue to be. Remember, you should begin with the end in mind. Think about how the abundant life you want to lead 5 years from now, or even 3 years out. How well do you want to live? What do you want to own? Do you want to grow your business? If so, how much revenue do you need to fund that growth? And what exactly would you spend the money on? Design the lifestyle or business growth you want, and then back into that vision by calculating how much these activities will cost. Determine how much you'll need to earn from your wages, your business revenues, and the proceeds from your investments to pay for it all. Of course, what I love about numbers is that they don't ever live in gray. They're black and white. Either you hit your numbers or you don't. But don't plan your future based on the money you're earning now. That will limit what you envision for yourself. Plan full out, then play full out. Research what you want to do, be, and have. Not only does research give you actual numbers to work with, it helps you make plans based on knowledge, not longing. It helps you laser in on what you want versus what others say your dream life should include. If you want to live in a breathtaking home, drive a luxury car, travel first class, or fund a philanthropic endeavor, research how much money it will take. If you want to send your children to college, pay down your mortgage. Lord. Pay down your mortgage, fund a sizable investment account, or start your own business. Calculate those costs too. Then create a strategy that earns that amount, okay, or more. I'm going to stop there because just because that's something that I've struggled with, is calculating that amount that I want to make and having a definite number and then setting my goal right there at that definite number. That's something I've definitely struggled with. I think that, and this it probably is a gender thing, but I feel like, in the movies when they write down the number and slide it across the table to negotiate how much you're going to make at a job or something like that, like when they're negotiating salaries in a show, I feel like, I don't know if this is going to sound weird or not, but I feel like I've never been taught what to put on the piece of paper. I've never been taught how to calculate that number that I make up myself and put it on the piece of paper. I don't know if that makes sense. I've never been taught to put the number on the piece of paper before sliding it over. And I feel like it's kind of always guys that get taught what to put on the paper and slide it over, but they don't really teach women how to negotiate salaries and stuff like that. And that's a whole gender gap thing within itself. But I feel like we don't get taught to what the number is to slide across the table. And this right here is what she's saying is these are the ways that you research and come up with that number. And I know that sounds like such a simple concept, but if you've never been exposed to the information, you've never been taught that, then it kind of presents as new information. Let's learn together. Allow your revenue to expand to the desire of your lifestyle rather than limiting your lifestyle to your current revenues. In Chapter 5, I'll be giving you advice for earning more money, but here's some advice on what not to do. Don't simply hope the extra money will show up. While many people say, dream and it will appear, or the universe will provide the means for me to attain what I want, or my favorite, I've set the intentions to win the lottery. The reality is that honing your money-making skills is by taking actions, all right? Taking actions on those activities that will meet your income goals. By taking action on those activities that will meet your income goals will get you closer to your ideal lifestyle than simply dreaming. Hope is not a strategy. A true great life comes from having a plan. So the question in bold says, what are your financial targets for creating the life you want? That's something for y'all to think about. Put in your journal. What are your financial targets for creating the life that you want? The next section in our 12 is your investments and future legacy. This is a short one. While your investment goals should align closely with your income goals, they should also go one step further and include the legacy you want to leave to your heirs and others. How do you want to extend your contribution to your family? What will you set aside for your children? What gift will you give to others from having been fiscally responsible? To drill down on this area, you have to think beyond your own life. Ultimately, the result of your investments will be bigger than you and live long after you have passed. What financial legacy do you want to leave behind? So think about what financial legacy you want to leave behind. The next section says, your philanthropic endeavors and life of service. Ooh, I'm going to like this section. This is my jam. Your philanthropic endeavors and life of service. To determine how you want to serve others, find out first what ignites your fire. Decide what makes your heart sing. Sometimes this takes a little investigation, and often this investigation reveals opportunities right in front of you. For instance, many of my clients and students say they want to work with children. Their dream is to travel to Mexico or Africa to build orphanages and schools. My answer to them is always, what about the children? Oh, What about the children in your own backyard? What are their needs? And if you want to help women refugees in Rwanda, I guarantee there's a battered women's shelter in your hometown that needs your help too. Even simple acts of service, like attending a seminar and organizing participants to donate the unused shampoo and soap from their hotel rooms, can matter. Find those acts of service that make you feel full just thinking about them. Then take action. Small actions can ignite your service fire and help you formulate exactly what you ultimately want to do for others in the world. In a meeting recently with one of my top clients, a wealthy woman who's about 75% retired, we discussed her service idea, which originally focused on projects in third world countries. I gave her the same advice I'm giving you. While you're researching projects outside your own countries, why not pursue acts of service locally? Stick your toe in the water. Set up a visitation with a similar charity nearby. See how it's operated. Choose multiple locations and volunteer. Then your true goals for paying it forward will come into focus. What ignites your soul when it comes to service to others? What ignites your soul when it comes to service to others? Water break. All right. Any thoughts? Anybody? Commentary? Not right now? All right. Your physical rewards. A physical reward should do several things. It should inspire you to stay laser focused on generating the means to acquire other tangible rewards. It should make you feel good about what you've accomplished so far. It should inspire those around you to emulate your focus without copying you. And it should be something that evokes a sense of gratitude in you. Every time you walk into your home, the home you purchased, or start up your luxury automobile, or wear that piece of designer jewelry, your physical rewards, that is your home, car, possessions, the community where you live, and the trappings of your rich and rewarding lifestyle, should be used as an acknowledgement of your achievement. Yes, yes. Oh, what ignites your soul when it comes to service for others? Ooh, that's a deep thought to have. What ignites my soul when servicing others is seeing their joy. I love seeing that I'm impacting someone's life in a positive way. That's beautiful, Jaleesa. Yeah. I think what ignites my soul when I'm servicing others is knowing that they're having an experience that they'll remember. Knowing that, like one of my favorite things about being a server when I used to wait tables was that I knew that I was so confident in what I was able to do and what I was able to bring and provide, because I am a person that loves to serve, and I'm someone that really loves to help people and things like that. So, I'm very much a helper. So when I was a server, one of my favorite and most rewarding, fulfilling things was knowing that somebody could be coming in and having a terrible day. They could be having an awful, awful day, and they sat at my table. And by the time they left, not only are they going to have an excellent food experience, but they're going to have an excellent personal experience. And not because every single person that comes in, I talk their head off. No, I read the room. I know I'm myself. I approach as myself, and I don't adjust who I am, but I adjust to what's comfortable for them so that they can have the best experience possible. And it was, I don't know, I got to have a really great time when I was a server. I didn't make a lot of money. For whatever reason, being really nice doesn't equate big tips. But that's also because I wasn't constantly upselling, because I was so concerned about the experience. I forgot that, working for a company, you have to upsell. And, especially when you're working in a kitchen, if there's certain foods that they're trying to get out of the kitchen or they're trying to sell, it's just like you have to upsell. And I would not always do that, or, convince people to buy more drinks or whatever. I wouldn't always do that, but I was always focused on them having the best experience possible. And so I think that's what I want to continue, is just making sure that people are having excellent experiences in their life, and that they get to be themselves, and that they learn to love themselves enough to be themselves. That is my ultimate goal, is to help all y'all, help every single one of y'all be yourselves. Okay. All right. Let's go back here. I don't even know. Oh, because I was reading the comments. That's why I got back onto the service part. I'm like, I'm not in the service section anymore. Your physical rewards. That is your home, car, possessions, the community where you live, and the trappings of your rich and rewarding lifestyle should be used as an acknowledgement of your achievement. They should not be used to fabricate who you are or as a band-aid to mask your emotional pain. They should not be used for that. When I first started working with Susie Carter, my executive coach, now my chief operating officer, she noticed that I was still driving an older Model 4 Explorer, even though I had been in a position for years to upgrade my car. I simply didn't. But my car was no longer congruent with who I was as a person. Immediately, I took Susie's advice and bought the new model year convertible. When I did, it felt like my own milestone reward. It felt good arriving at my appointments. It felt authentic that my outward life finally mirrored my message to others. Of course, physical rewards should not give your future financial stress. Sorry. Of course, I misread that. Of course, physical rewards should not give you future financial stress. You should never live outside your means and purchase things you can barely afford. Financial stress has no place in true abundance. Plus, at all times, flaunting expensive possessions is a fabricated conversation. Not only is it the myth of happiness, but it's also inauthentic. It's you telling the world a story you think they want to hear. It's you telling the world a story you think they want to hear. When you out here, buying some stuff, trying to keep up with everybody, you out here, I hope I pronounce this right, but you out here getting the Telfar. Is that what's called? Teflar? Tef? You could tell I'm not into, you getting the new Birkin and everything, and you buying it with all 3 credit cards that's about to max out or whatever, and you buying that, you ain't got the money. You ain't got the money. But you living outside your means because you're trying to prove a point. And you're trying to tell a story you think they want to hear. They don't care about your Birkin in real life. They don't. Unless you present yourself as that person, but you can't actually match your lifestyle. Don't do that. However, I will say that what she talked about when she was talking about replacing her car, replacing her Ford Explorer with a nicer car and one that matched her lifestyle, I think that I don't think anything. Kevin on Stage did that. Kevin on Stage got himself a Maserati, and he has videos about it and everything. But a lot of the reason why he did that was because he was reading another book, which I need to purchase and get so we can read that too. He was reading another book that was called The Big Leap, I think. And it was talking about how, you take that chance. You should reward yourself for your hard work and not deny yourself, things that you want because, you're like, I'm trying to stay humble, don't want to be arrogant, don't want to be flashy and show off. No, flex a little bit, flex a little bit. If you earned it and you can afford it and you worked hard, do it. Do what you want to do. But then don't get on the internet and show every receipt for all of, baby. And show all the receipts for all the donations you made, trying to prove to people on Instagram that it's okay for you to buy your expensive bag. If you want to buy your expensive bag and you got the money, baby, do you. Anyway, the next section. The next section is called Your Playtime. Happy fun times. Another area you'll want to be crystal clear about is how you play during your off hours, including the importance of scheduling playtime by actually marking it on your calendar. You don't want it to be all work, no play. If you work, play. Have fun. Do you. Playtime should allow you to completely disconnect from your responsibilities for the specified period of time, whether it's a 1-hour respite, a 2-week vacation, or a 3-month sabbatical. Not only that, but playtime should also be spent in true enjoyment at an activity you love. It should never be spent merely catching up on your sleep, recovering from illness, or recuperating from a week-long bout of overwork. Getting back on an even keel, for instance, going from a -4 to a 0, should never be the sole purpose of playtime. How do you like to play? Playtime should be designated to create harmony in your life. Have fun. Have fun. Think about all the things you used to do 10 years ago before you got busy. When I'm off the clock, I like to go to the Caribbean. Okay. Sorry. I don't go play in the Caribbean, so, I was taken aback by that for a second. Excuse me. I swim in the ocean every single day. I wear different clothes, go dancing, and even turn off my cell phone so my mind knows I've unplugged. Part of being devoted to creating playtime is that you also must carve out an adequate time for it. Play days have to be scheduled. In my company, my team is required by the end of every January to allocate and schedule their playtime for the coming year. They don't have to know where they'll be going or what they'll be doing, but they must reserve time on their calendar. Scheduling in advance helps eliminate resentment for your work and requires you to be more productive during the days you are working. If you work for someone else and your allotted vacation days, take them. Take them. If you have vacation days, take them, please. You'll be refreshed and ready to perform at your peak when you get back. Plus, unplugging gives your mind the time and space to wander a little, solving problems and coming up with fresh ideas you can't muster when you're overworked. Now that I'm older, I remember my play days are far more elation than I remember my work days. The same little girl who grew up in South Central Los Angeles, who didn't have food to eat or money to pay her rent, has gone horseback riding in the primate black monkey sanctuaries of Puerto Rico, sailed off the coast of Croatia, gone swimming with horses in Montego Bay, Jamaica, played with dolphins in the British Virgin Islands, danced under the stars at St. Thomas, and reluctantly tasted buffalo, camel, and ostrich in Kenya with my father and son, among many other experiences. You could become deliberate about your play days too. When will your next playtime be? When will your next playtime be? Think about that. Don't forget to schedule fun times and happy fun, don't forget to schedule that for yourself. Now we're going into my sections, the ones I like the most. Your spiritual awareness. I have worked hard at finding a rhythm inside my spiritual journey. By intentionally seeking and practicing peace of mind, grace, calm, and ease, I've created a greater spiritual awareness in my daily life. You can too. When you find quiet time to listen to your GPS, your God placement system, okay, your intuition will always be talking to you, pointing you to those activities, people, and resources that will bring about your fondest desires. Often we're too busy or our self-talk is too loud to hear what our intuition is trying to tell us. We can't hear where it's trying to lead us. So one of your most important activities should be to simply be still. If you need to create a new habit to help you be still, Why not stay in bed an extra 10 minutes every morning to practice gratitude or to meditate? It doesn't serve anyone to get out of bed running. During those 10 minutes, 1, review the things you're grateful for, focusing primarily on what you're grateful for that had no cost attached to it. 2, create and delineate your intentions for the coming day or week. Not to add to your to-do list, but simply to throw your wishes out to the universe about how those things you'd like to accomplish. And 3, just be still and feel your breath before you get started. You'll find that the energy you greet the day with is the energy the day will give you back. Whatever face you show to the world is the same face the world will show you in return. For example, you can exhibit a face of grace and ease. It's found in your spiritual awareness, your ability to release what you cannot control and commit to holding on to the things that matter most to you. This is the ability to expand and contract as needed, occupying all those spaces that allow us to be at one with our intentions, our gratitude, and our stillness. When will you find time to be still? I'm so thankful for this year, and as devastating of a year that has been. It has caused most of us to have to be still. Unfortunately, essential workers and people that work in retail that didn't shut down, when everything happened, those folks had to keep going. But for most of us, we were able to take a moment to just be still. And that's where a lot of people, I don't know if y'all noticed, a lot of people are finding their spiritual walk because they had to be still. They had to stop running. They had to stop stressing themselves out and killing themselves for these jobs. A lot of us lost our jobs. And it forced us to be still. And I've never seen us as a collective be more spiritually aware and cognizant, myself included in that. I've seen God show up way more in individuals this year more than I ever have before. And I think it's because we've had to allow ourselves to be vessels and had to allow ourselves to be still and be quiet and listen to the small voice. The small voice being your intuition, the small voice being God, the small voice being your ancestors, the small voice being common sense. We were so busy. We were so ripping and running everywhere, doing everything. In 2019, 2020 says, slow it down. Time to slow it down because we got some big stuff coming up. And you're going to need to slow it down. So don't be afraid of the stillness. Don't be afraid of the stillness because the truth is there. The truth is in the quiet. When will you find time to be still? Okay, next section. Your physical body. Do you love what you see in the mirror? We all have things that we tolerate about ourselves that we love to change. But what I'd like to laser in on for the sake of this conversation is if any physical feature is causing you to feel disempowered or depressed. If so, it's time to decide how you want to change your physical body. Whether it's your appearance, your weight, a specific feature, a health condition, or something else, you need to be focused on the new you and what you'll do to achieve that result. To live an abundant life in every way, you need to love the skin you're in. When you do, you simply display a different energy, an inner smile, a contagious and sunny disposition that attracts people to you. I recently realized that I had spent 17 years without that inner smile, not wholeheartedly loving the skin I'm in. I compensated for the sense of powerlessness I felt toward my weight by building up my spiritual and intellectual muscles instead. Now I'm committed to holistic success more than ever, and in fact, I became resolute with achieving a healthy weight. I realized that I have always had the power to transform my physical body. By the time you read this book, I will have achieved what I once considered impossible, taking off the 75-pound jacket I used to wear. Day by day, it's easier than ever to say, my hot is getting hotter. Oh, that's cute. My hot is getting hotter. Your appearance is important, but so is your stamina, agility, and physical resilience. And all these are required to accomplish your goals. Your body must have the ability to keep up with your life purpose. It must have the endurance to repeatedly show up and do what you need it to do. What do you need to do to transform your body for your amazing journey toward abundance? One thing I do is yoga inconsistently. It's inconsistent, but it gets done because I want to be more flexible. All right. Those were all 12. She says, when you develop your goals in the 12 areas above, it's imperative to be specific. State how much and by when. State how much and by when. Decide on the smaller incremental targets you'll hit on your way to achieving bigger goals. Then write down your goals and review them daily. In Chapter 2, I'll reveal how to fast-track the attainment of these goals through daily affirmations and envisioning them as already complete. Just as you define abundance for yourself, scarcity is also something that you decide in your own mind. That's the title of the next section. Regardless of where you're starting today, abundance can be a part of your future, even if it has not been part of your past. Though I grew up in scarce circumstances, I realized as an adult that I had the power to change my future circumstances through planning, working hard, and surrendering to God's plan for me. You have this power too. And whether your childhood experience was limited in terms of money, safety, love, or acknowledgement, you get to choose abundance on your own terms starting today. And there's a quote that says, "We cannot change our last chapter, as it has already been written in ink. But we can change the way our next chapter will be written because we are still holding the pen in our own hands." That's by Lisa Nichols. Susie Carter, my chief operating officer, and for many years my business coach, is today a brilliant and compassionate woman. But she often mentions how her childhood helped shape her current life of abundance, as well as her commitment to outwardly expressing love. Because her mother could not provide the lifestyle Susie deserved, she left 5-year-old Susie on Easter Day with her father, a committed family man, but a career soldier and ship welder with an 8th grade education who was rigid, structured, and undemonstrative when it came to affection. With 2 stepsisters, 3 stepbrothers, and 1 half-sister, plus Susie and her siblings, the family who also suffered from lack of money, food, and resources. Susie's grandmother raised the children while her stepmom, a kind woman, worked as a seamstress. All they saw was the hard work and determination of an amazing man who raised 9 kids with no debt, living paycheck to paycheck and obtaining government rations like powdered milk and cheese to feed his family. Everything Susie wore was a hand-me-down. As the youngest child, she never had anything new. When Susie was 16 and old enough to get a job at Kentucky Fried Chicken, her siblings would wait on the porch for her to come home, carrying a bucket of leftovers to feed the family that night. Susie learned to maximize leverage and be resourceful, something she still uses every day. In this environment, it would have been easy for Susie to become a product of her childhood, but she had bigger problems. She became a hairdresser and eventually created a system to upsell additional services and offer products to her customers. As one of the few hairdressers in America earning over $250,000 a year, she turned her expertise into a training and development company to teach business skills to other hairstylists. then sold it for millions of dollars after building it into the leading training company in her industry. Along the way, she amassed over $10 million in real estate. Woo! Because she knew what scarcity looked like, she created just the opposite, an abundant and prosperous life. Not only that, but she attributes her characteristics as a mother today, loving, generous, giving, to the love she did not get as a child. While Susie had every reason to continue in limitation and lack, today she is a classic example of how scarcity is a choice. She made a conscious choice as an adult to work for something better. How much time do we got? Okay, good. We still got some good time. Ooh, mouth dry. The next section is called Gratitude Helps You Move Forward into Abundance. Gratitude helps you move forward into abundance. How can you reframe scarcity and move forward into a life of abundance? One way I've discovered is to express gratitude for what you do have. When I first began to plan a life of abundance for myself, I made the conscious decision that my economic status does not equal my joy. In other words, my bank account balance doesn't get to determine how happy I choose to be every day. The bills I have to pay don't get to take the joy out of my life. My salary doesn't get to define how jubilant or peaceful I choose to be. In other words, none of my external economic circumstances have the power to define the person that I am in this or any moment. My economic status is a temporary situation, and my bank account is merely a financial tool that I manage. Most important, my economic status is not an indicator of how much abundance I have in my life, because I think of abundance differently now. Back when my transformation was starting, to confirm to myself just how much abundance I already had in my life, I spent 10 minutes every morning in gratitude, choosing 10 things to be grateful for that did not cost money. If you did the same morning gratitude exercise, this abundant new mindset would go with you throughout your day, informing the universe to deliver even more things, people, situations, and opportunities for which you could express gratitude. Of course, the universal principle here at work is energy grows where energy goes. If you want great things to come into your life, you have to first be overwhelmingly clear about the great things that already exist in your life. You have to give them your energy and attention. I'm stumbling over my words. I'm sorry about that, y'all. As I mentioned, lately I've been working on my physical body. And one of the biggest lessons I've learned is that if I want the next version of my body to emerge through my behavior, I first had to learn to love my existing body. Now that was a challenge. Not only was I frustrated about the body I was in, I had always felt that it was going to be impossible to achieve the shapely body I wanted. I put so much negative energy into thoughts about my body that it simply could not show up in return. It couldn't give me back something that looked beautiful to me. It wasn't until I began to love my hips, love my thighs, love my arms all at their current size, that I began to care enough to feed them better food, do my sit-ups and crunches, practice my lunges, get better rest to assist in my weight loss, and visit a holistic doctor to address my fatigue and burned out adrenals. Gratitude, I learned, pays homage and honor to what is, and it's a lesson I've tried to teach others. When I first appeared on Oprah Winfrey's television show, I told her viewers to love themselves first before expecting others to love them. I'm the first example of how the world's supposed to love me. I said, and I have to give them the best example ever. When you pay homage and honor to what is, you open up a clear space to call forth what's to come. It's like planting beautiful seeds in soil that you've already tilled, watered, and nurtured. When you're not grateful, by contrast, your world is more like untilled soil, hardened, dry, and fallow. You wouldn't expect to plant new seeds and see them grow in ground like that. Gratitude is the cultivating you need to complete first so you can invite wonderful and beautiful things to grow. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. The next section, how much time do we have? Oh, I'm breezing through this. We might actually, y'all, I might. I don't know. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Thank you all for still hanging out. I appreciate the few of y'all that are hanging out. I appreciate y'all coming through. I'm excited to do this. I'm excited to do this. This is really fun. This is really great. Abundance usually requires you to move to a new mental zip code. Not a mental zip code. Let me drink some water. Over and over, changes that I've seen in the lives of my clients, participants, and students tell me that scarcity is more a mindset than a financial condition or physical condition. If you are stuck in scarcity physically, it's because you may be unconsciously committed to it mentally. I give you this truth with love and a dose of cold water. If you are finding that life is hard, the problem may not be in your circumstances, may not exclusively be in your circumstances. It also has a, let me go back because I want to read this correctly, intentionally, and with purpose. I give you this truth with love and a dose of cold water. If you are finding that life is hard, the problem may not exclusively be in your circumstances. It also has in large part to do with the choices that you've made. The truth is, we live in an abundant world. Now, that's not to say that there isn't real struggle in hurting people who have genuinely fallen on hard times. And the truth remains that there is enough for all of us. All that remains is for you to choose whether you'll be abundance focused or consumed by the feeling of impossible or lack. And the moment you become non-negotiable about changing your mental zip code, pack your bags and mentally move to a new zip code filled with prosperity instead of scarcity, you'll begin to see your life change. The moment you begin to think like prosperous people think, study what prosperous people study, and be more intentional about attracting what you want to attract is the moment your life will begin to change. The moment you change your mindset is the moment that your finances, relationships, and physical wellness will have to follow. And the good news is that thinking, studying, and acting like prosperous people do is easier than ever. There is more than enough information available today, enough role models, documentaries, books, websites, and training courses on how to achieve each of your specific goals for you to easily determine a path to your abundant future. If you look, you will find many people who live in an abundant headspace and have the lives to prove it. Find them, model them, and start the actions that lead to living an abundant and prosperous life. If you want to be rich, you must not make a study of poverty. That quote came from Wallace D. Wattles, author of The Science of Getting Rich, first published in 1910. If you want to be rich, you must not make a study of poverty. If more than enough information is available to us on the internet through advisors and in books, why do so many of us stay stuck in a scarcity mindset? Because it's simply human nature to remain more committed to a familiar discomfort than to unfamiliar new possibilities. Because it is simply human nature to remain more committed to a familiar discomfort than to an unfamiliar new possibility. The fear of the unknown often drives us to continue to an uncomfortable, unpleasant situation, whether it's financial difficulty, health concerns, relationship problems, or something else. We create the story that at least we know this chaos, and that it's easier to live with the chaos than to risk the unknown via some new possibility. The best way to get past being stuck is to acknowledge, this is where I am. This is where I am. It's merely a mental barrier that I have to get past. Too many people look for ways in which they are deficient or ways in which the outside world is somehow holding them back and then say, see, I can't move forward into abundance because there are forces that always seem to be working against me. Ooh, she hitting some points in here. How much time we got? We're going to have to get through this whole point. Okay. If you have a job and you blame your lack of financial wealth on your employer, realize that you've just surrendered your financial future to someone who did not even ask to take on that responsibility. Not only did you disempower yourself, but you also empowered someone who's never asked to be your financial god. Ooh, Lisa. Oh. She reading me. Okay. She getting me together. Me. Because I played the blame game. Let's play the blame game. I love you. I've done it. Okay. To further the point, if you've ever said, I would be happier if my job were ... You've also chosen to slide out of the driver's seat of your life and move into the passenger seat. Depending on the energy you put into that statement, you might move even further away to the back seat, and in some cases, the trunk. It's now time for you to get back in the driver's seat of your life. Get back in the driver's seat of your life. She getting me together. She's getting me. It's me that she's getting together, y'all. This isn't even about y'all no more. It's me. It's me. It's me. Okay. All right, Lisa. Okay. All right. Let's see what else you got to say. It's now time for you to get back in the driver's seat of your life. But what if you're already there? Simply refusing to step on the gas because you're afraid you'll hit the curb, a wall, or the center divider. Realize that the only way you'll hit something is if you're not steering. Just like driving a real car, steering takes knowledge and practice, which you can't get when you're in the parking lot. So step on the gas, learn how to steer those parts in your life you need to control, and get into motion. Another way that people keep themselves from moving forward is they hide behind ambiguity and lack of knowledge. I don't know what to do next, they say. I'm unclear, they say. If this describes you, simply lean into the uncertainty. Move forward, and if your first step doesn't feel right, then pick up your foot, scrape whatever you stepped in off the bottom of your shoe, and then move in an alternative direction until you find success. Just keep moving. Action beckons results, and results beckon clarity. Although you may want to see the entire path before you ever take a step, life just doesn't work that way. That word was for me. It was for me. Okay. Here's a quote by Martin Luther King Jr., legendary civil rights leader and Nobel Peace Prize recipient. Take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. One of the most immediate results I see happen when people decide to move forward is something I call unconscious stagnation. Because we fear other people's perception of us, and because we unconsciously suffer from our own fear of failure, we actually become more committed to looking good than to succeeding. Because we fear other people's perception of us, and because we unconsciously suffer from our own fear of failure, we actually become more committed to looking good than to succeeding. Woo, that is a word. Ooh, there's 3 of y'all here, and I hope you got it. Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. We would rather stay stagnant and look good in mediocrity than risk making a fool of ourselves reaching for extraordinary. Wow. Wow. Okay. Wow. For those that just came in, I'm about to wrap it up in just a few moments, but we're reading Lisa Nichols' Abundance Now. So Lisa Nichols' Abundance Now. Getting me right together is what she's doing today. She's getting me right together. Even worse, many of us spend lots of time, money, and energy being busy when what we're really doing is standing still. While we may be in motion, we're doing the wrong things. Our subconscious mind is silently keeping us from taking those actions that will truly help us meet our goals. There's no forward movement toward our future. In my own life, I found myself experiencing unconscious stagnation around my weight. Knowing that I wanted and needed to release at least 70 pounds, I read about it, talked about it, and even prayed about it. I went as far as buying healthy foods, protein shakes, and workout gear. Yet I still seemed to only hover around the goal, far more than I was consistent in doing what was necessary. My fear of failing myself caused me to never really get started on achieving the weight loss that I so desperately desired. To achieve an abundant life, however, you're going to have to take the position, as I did, that you would rather be in motion and possibly make a fool of yourself reaching for the extraordinary than be complacent, ordinary, and living in mediocrity. And this is a good place to stop. Wow. Of course, Lisa came through with the word again. I need to get a proper bookmark. I need to make a proper bookmark for this. Lisa came through with the word again. We were just to kind of go over some of the things that we touched on tonight. You know, her 12. And if you guys want to write this down, I'm going to say this and, the playback will be up. I don't know if I'm going to have the playback up on IG. We'll see. Ain't nobody really tap in, but we'll see. Those 12 life-changing areas where you can achieve astounding success. If you want to write those down, because we went through each one of them. The first one is your love relationship. The next one, and the question for that. Okay. So starting off, what goals will you set in the 12 areas that follow? The first area is your love relationship. What kind of love relationship are you looking for? The next area is your family relationships. Who in your family do you need to reach out to? The next area is the next section or area in your life are your peers, colleagues, and social circles. Do you get what you need from your friend circle? Are you giving your friends what they need in return? The next one is your mentors and advisors. The one after that is your career or business. Your career or business. And in that one, the question was, do you design your destiny? The next section was your income or business revenue. The income, the money coming in, that money. The next one, and the question for that was, what are your financial targets for creating the life you want? The next one was your investments and future legacy. Question for that was, what financial legacy do you want to leave behind? And the next one was your philanthropic endeavors and life of service, which was my favorite one, I think. What ignites your soul when it comes to service to others? And we talked a little bit about that in the comments over here. Next one were your physical rewards. What tangible rewards are you striving for? Okay. The next one is your playtime. When will your next playtime be? Next one is your spiritual awareness. Question for that one was, when will you find time to be still? After that is your physical body. What do you need to do to transform your body for your amazing journey towards abundance? And those are all 12 of them. Those are all 12 of those areas in where we make life-changing areas where you can achieve astounding success. So go through those for yourself. And I mean, I'm not your teacher, so you don't have to turn in no homework or anything like that. This week I am going to be working on the group. If you drop out on IG, I'm still on Facebook, so it's going to go out in probably about 20 seconds. Yes, so I'm still going to get the Facebook group going. I want to figure out exactly what my goal is for the Facebook group before I, just open one up and just kind of make it like, discussions. I want to make sure that it's with good intentions and it's clear and it's not just a fly by the pants type deal. So I'm still working on getting that together so that it can go live. I'm still working on that. What else? We're doing this every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 6 p.m. I appreciate you all for coming in tonight and hanging out. Appreciate the comments and the conversation. Tomorrow, we're going to be back at 6 p.m. We're going to continue reading Abundance Now by Lisa Nichols. I feel like I was able to get a lot more read today without my additional commentary. I'm so glad that we're doing this. I'm so glad that we're continuing in this. And I'm so thankful for everyone. As she talked about today, expressing gratitude. I am thankful for everyone that shows up. I am thankful for the people that popped in on Instagram. I'm thankful for the 5 people that are still here. It says 5 people here. I don't know if there's really still 5 people here, but if they are, hey, y'all, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being here. I got some pretty cool stuff in the works outside of this, and I just want y'all to know that in the journey of finding abundance and unlocking the abundance in my life, taking this step of doing the readings on live has opened things up already. So tonight I just want y'all to, the thing that you're thinking about, the thing that you want to do, the things you've put off, the thing that you don't know how to get to that first step, try something. Freaking swing the bat. There was I can't remember the name of the guy, but there's this whole speech he did. It was for MLM, but it was still a great concept. It's just like, even if you don't hit anything, swing the bat until you do. Like, swing the bat, do the thing, do a thing that's related to the thing that you want to do that you're scared to do. That's what I'm doing. That's what this is. And I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful that you guys are participating and doing this with me. You have no idea. You have no idea. Thank you guys again for showing up tonight. We'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. I'm very, very excited. Tomorrow's episode probably won't be as long because I have something else that I have to do at 7, and I'm going to have to kind of go in at 6:30. So we might have to do it at 5 tomorrow or after the fact. I might do it at 5, and then the playback will already be up at 6. So we'll figure that out. We'll play that by ear tomorrow. But I have something I have to do at 7, and it's really, really important. It's really super important. So, and I can't talk about it, but I feel so special being able to be like, I can't talk about what I'm doing, but I'm doing something pretty cool tomorrow. Fingers crossed it happens. It will happen. It had to get rescheduled. It was supposed to happen yesterday, but it's happening tomorrow. So fingers crossed it happens. And I will see you guys tomorrow, 5-ish. Let's do 5:30 5:30 to 6:30. We're gonna do 5:30 to 6:30, and I'll put the event up early enough so there's a reminder on your timeline tomorrow when you guys are going through and scrolling through while you at work or working from home or whatever. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. I'm going a little bit over what I usually do. I hope y'all have a great night. Have a great night, and stay blessed.